Last month, I asked this channel a question. What age do you want to retire? The most common answer wasn't 67, it wasn't 65, it was 55 to 60. That's the dream. Stop at 55. Still young enough to travel, still healthy enough to actually enjoy it. 12 years before anyone can tell you you're supposed to retire. The problem is, 55 is a financial minefield, and $750,000 in super, which sounds like plenty, might not be enough. Or it might be exactly enough, depending on three things most people never think about. Let's run the numbers. First, the brutal reality of retiring at 55. Your super is locked. Preservation age in Australia is 60. If you stop working at 55, you cannot access your super for 5 years. Not a cent. It's sitting there, growing, completely out of reach. That means from age 55 to 60, 5 years. Every dollar of your living expenses has to come from somewhere that isn't super. Cash savings, share investments, term deposits, a rental property income, a bit of part-time work, whatever you've built outside super. And the age pension? That's 67. 12 years away from the day you retire at 55. 12 years of completely self-funded living before the government contributes a single dollar. That's the bridge gap. 5 years to access your super, another 7 years to the pension. 12 years of flying solo. Most people don't plan for this. They see $750,000 in super and think, I'm rich. Then they retire, can't access it, and have $80,000 in a savings account that runs out in 18 months. So the real question isn't, do I have enough super? It's, do I have enough outside super to last until 60? Let's meet Dave. Single, 55 years old, owns his home. Has $750,000 in super and $120,000 in a savings account. Wants to retire now. Dave's annual living expenses are $45,000. Modest but comfortable, not luxurious. 5 years at $45,000 equals $225,000. Dave has $120,000 outside super. He's $105,000 short before he can even touch his super. Option 1. Dave works part-time for 2 years. Even 2 days a week at $30,000 per year buys him $60,000 more and dramatically extends his non-super runway. He retires fully at 57 instead of 55. Not ideal, but survivable. Option 2. Dave draws from super via a loophole most people forget. At 55, Dave can access super if he meets a condition of release, and one of them is leaving an employer after turning 55. Under the old transition rules for people born before 1 July 1960, preservation age was 55. But for anyone born after 1 July 1964, it's 60. Dave is 55 and born in 1971. He cannot access super, regardless. So Dave's only real option is to fund the first 5 years from outside super, and $120,000 doesn't cut it. Now, let's meet Sandra. Same age, same super balance, smarter plan. Sandra's 55 with $750,000 in super and $250,000 in a diversified share portfolio she's been building since 45. She retired at 55 and never touched the super. Years 55 to 60, Sandra lives on her share portfolio. At a 4% drawdown, that's $10,000 per year from investments. Plus, she does 2 days of consulting per week at roughly $25,000 per year. Combined income, $35,000 per year. Tight, but manageable. She cuts the gym, the restaurant, the premium streaming. She's not miserable, she's strategic. Meanwhile, her $750,000 in super is compounding at 6.5% annually. By the time she hits 60, her super has grown to approximately $1,030,000. She hasn't touched a cent of it, and it's already above $1 million. At 60, Sandra fully retires, converts to a retirement phase pension. Her super earnings are now tax-free. She draws $51,500 per year, a 5% drawdown on $1 million. At 67, she applies for the age pension. With assessable assets around $800,000 at that point, she'll sit in part pension territory, roughly $10,000 to $15,000 per year. Combined income at 67, super drawdown plus part pension, around $61,000 to $66,000 per year. That's above the Ask for Comfortable retirement standard of $54,000. She's more than comfortable. Sandra's secret wasn't the $750,000. It was the $250,000 bridge fund. She retired at 55 because she planned for the 5-year lockout. Dave didn't. Now, the third scenario, and this is the one that changes everything for people who genuinely want to stop at 55. Meet Chris. He's 55, has $750,000 in super and only $80,000 outside super. Nowhere near enough to fund 5 years. But Chris owns his home outright, and he decides to use a strategy called partial work retirement. He drops from 5 days to 2 days per week. His income drops from $95,000 to $38,000. He's not retired, but he's 60% there. Two things happen simultaneously. First, his employer continues paying 12% super on his $38,000 salary. That's $4,560 per year still going into super while it grows. Second, Chris starts a transition to retirement pension. At 55, born after 1 July 1964, he can't do this. But at 60, once he crosses the preservation age, he can draw up to 10% of his super per year while still working. He uses those 2 years from 58 to 60 to begin structuring his drawdown. Then, at 62, when he permanently retires, his super is in full retirement phase pension. Tax-free earnings, full access. And his super balance, because it grew from 55 to 62 untouched, or nearly untouched, has reached roughly $1.1 million from the original $750,000. Chris effectively bought 7 years of compounding by not fully retiring at 55. He gave up full retirement for partial retirement, but the payoff is $1 million super balance instead of a depleted one. So, can you retire at 55 with $750,000? Here's my honest verdict. If you have less than $200,000 outside super, probably not fully. You'll either run out of bridge money before you can access super, or you'll be drawing from super illegally or panic selling investments at the wrong time. If you have $200,000 to $300,000 outside super and your annual spend is under $50,000, yes, you can do it. Sandra did it. It requires discipline, it means no big splurges in years 55 to 60, and it means part-time work probably fills some gaps. But it works. If you're willing to go to semi-retirement rather than full retirement, 2 to 3 days per week, $750,000 in super is more than enough. The super grows while you work, and by 62 or 63, you're sitting on a balance that funds a genuinely comfortable full retirement. The number isn't the problem. The plan is the problem. Most people retiring at 55 fail not because they don't have enough money, but because they don't know what happens in the 5-year gap between 55 and 60. Now you do. One last thing before I go. From July 1, 2026, next month, 2 things change that matter if you're planning early retirement. The concessional contributions cap rises from $30,000 to $32,500 per year. That's an extra $2,500 you can put into super before tax each year. And payday super begins. Employers must pay your super with every pay cycle, not quarterly. If you're still working part-time in your 50s, your super starts growing faster because it's earning returns on the contributions sooner. Both of these help the semi-retirement strategy. Every dollar that goes in while you're still working earns compound returns for longer. What age are you hoping to retire? And how close are you to making it happen? Drop it in the comments. I'll read every one. I'm the Retired Aussie. I'll see you in the next one.